Have you ever done the right thing, even when it could cost you everything? Have you ever stood strong, even when people around you wanted you to fail? Today, I want to tell you a powerful story, a true story from the Bible. It is the story of a man named Daniel. Daniel was not just a good man. He was faithful, he was wise, and he loved God with all his heart. But one day, his faith would be tested in a way no one could imagine. He would face jealous enemies, a dangerous law, and a den full of hungry lions. But what happened next will remind you that God never abandons those who trust him. Daniel lived in a foreign land called Babylon. He was not born there. He had been taken from his home when he was young. But even in his strange land, Daniel did not forget God. He prayed every day. He obeyed God. He lived a life that was honest and good. Because of this, Daniel became very respected. The king of the land, King Darius, noticed him. Out of many leaders in the kingdom, Daniel stood out. He was wise, he was careful, he could be trusted. Soon, the king made Daniel one of the highest officials in the land. In fact, the king was planning to put Daniel in charge of the whole kingdom. But not everyone was happy about this. The other officials became jealous. They began to ask themselves, why Daniel? Why should he be above us? They watched him closely. They wanted to find something wrong with him, something they could use against him. But no matter how hard they tried, they found nothing. Daniel was honest, he did his work well, he did not cheat, he did not lie.
Then one of them came up with a plan. If we cannot find fault in his work, they said, then we must find fault in his faith. They knew something important about Daniel. Daniel prayed to God every day. So they went to King Darius with a clever idea. "O king, live forever," they said. "We have all agreed that you should make a new law. For the next 30 days, no one should pray to any god or any man except you. And if anyone disobeys this law, they should be thrown into the lion's den." The king liked the idea. It made him feel important. Without thinking deeply about it, he signed the law. And once it was signed, it could not be changed. Now Daniel heard about the law. He understood exactly what it meant. If he prayed, he would be arrested. If he prayed, he could die. But Daniel did not panic. He did not hide. He did not stop loving God. Instead, he went to his house, he opened his window just like he always did, and he prayed. Not once, not twice, but 3 times that day, just as he had always done before. Daniel chose God, even when it was dangerous. The jealous officials were watching him closely. They saw Daniel praying. Immediately, they ran to the king. "O king," they said, "did you not sign a law that no one should pray to any god or man except you for 30 days?" The king answered, "Yes, I did." "Then Daniel has broken your law," they said. "He is praying to his God." When the king heard this, he was deeply troubled. He liked Daniel. He did not want him to die. All day long, the king tried to find a way to save him, but the law could not be changed. Finally, with a heavy heart, the king gave the order. Daniel was to be thrown into the lion's den. That night, Daniel was taken to the den. It was a deep, dark pit filled with hungry lions.
The king said to him, "May your God, whom you serve continually, save you." Then Daniel was lowered into the den. A large stone was placed over the opening, and it was sealed. No one could go in, and no one could come out. That night, the king could not sleep. He refused to eat. He did not listen to music. He was restless and worried. But Daniel was not afraid, because Daniel knew something the king did not fully understand. He knew that he was not alone. Inside the den, something amazing happened. God sent an angel. The angel shut the mouths of the lions. The lions did not touch Daniel. They did not harm him. All night long, Daniel was safe because God was with him. Early the next morning, at the first light of day, the king hurried to the lion's den. With a worried voice, he called out, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to save you from the lions?" Then, from inside the den, a voice answered, "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight." The king was filled with joy. He immediately gave the order for Daniel to be lifted out of the den. When they pulled Daniel up, everyone looked closely at him. Not a single wound was found on his body. Not one, because he trusted in God. The king was very angry with the men who had tricked him. They were brought and thrown into the lion's den instead. And this time, the lions did not stay quiet. Then the king made a new law. He declared that throughout his entire kingdom, people must respect and honor the God of Daniel. Because he is the living God, he endures forever. His kingdom will never be destroyed. He rescues, he saves, he performs signs and wonders. And Daniel continued to live in peace and success. So what can we learn from Daniel? Daniel teaches us something very important. Even when it is hard, choose what is right. Even when people are against you, stand strong. Even when you are afraid, trust God. Because God sees you. God knows your heart. And God is able to protect you even in the most dangerous situations. You may not face lions in a den, but you may face fear. You may face pressure. You may face people who do not understand your faith. Be like Daniel. Stay faithful. Stay strong. Keep trusting. Because the same God who protected Daniel is still watching over you today. And no matter what you are going through, remember this: God is with you, even in your darkest moments.